And so, why do you think Adam Smith's ideas, particularly around moral philosophy and economics, are experiencing a resurgence today?
Oh, so that's a wonderful question. So Adam Smith published two major books that you have just referred to. One is called Theory of Moral Sentiments, which he publishes in 1759, and the other is much more famous, The Wealth of Nations, which comes out in 1776. For the first couple hundred years, economists knew only that second book, The Wealth of Nations. Theory of Moral Sentiments wasn't really available in easy publications or ready publications for people in the US or even in Britain to read. And then philosophers knew about theory of moral sentiments, but they were also working on, other philosophers. But around about 1970 or so, new publications came out, versions of theory of moral sentiments, and economists who at the time were developing something called experimental economics. The person who's most famously associated with that is Vernon Smith, who got a Nobel Prize for founding the area of experimental economics. They were then able to read Theory of Moral Sentiments and try to put it together with The Wealth of Nations. And one problem immediately was that some people thought the two works were unconnected, that Smith writes about the marketplace in The Wealth of Nations, and he writes about moral behavior and Theory of Moral Sentiments, and the two don't really go together. People actually called the problem of this not going together or incommensurateness Das Adam Smith problem. And now, after much work and experimental work especially, and the rejuvenation of scholarship, Smith scholarship, people have come to understand that actually theory of moral sentiments underpins the wealth of nations. So you can't really talk about the wealth of nations without an understanding of Smith's view of human nature. And that's what he develops most strongly in the theory of moral sentiments.
Yeah.